Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got some new mods. Right, first the updates. We got the Mar Ag Pack by SMI modding team. In the changelog, that's got added right roller. We got the Phoenix IT Runner edition by Shabba and VSR modding cert. Now on the website that didn't say anything about the changelog, but it has come up as an update, so just have to have a look out for that one. We got the Fendt 700 Vario Gen 6 by Moose Agra. In the changelog for that, it's got added configurations, addition front parts, beacon lights, further addition and mirrors, fixed several visual bugs, added new model for hood secure, added new hubs, added foldable beacon lights and added foldable warning signs. We got the Stayer CVT pack by Schnibble modding. In the changelog for that, we've got fixed issues with grid, fixed author tag, missing faces at hubs fixed, dashboard needle fixed, fitting weights added with 500, 800, 1000, 1200 and 1300 kilos. Change configurations for mirrors and fender single now. PTO indices corrected and number plate light added. The Seed Runner 3755XL by 82 Studio. It's got a gooseneck option and they've changed the folding direction of the pipe. And the last update for today is the Wholesale by Zodelzocht, and in that they've added wood sail trigger and fill types added. So that's your updates for today. So first up, we got three mods from yesterday. The first one is the Polish Silage Silo Pack by Kakper, 0.38 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu. So if we go into there, under silos, and then you've got three options. So we'll scroll along to find them. There we are. So we've got small silo, that's one on the right hand side, that's 500 to buy. We've then got the medium silo, which is 1000 to buy, and we've then got the large silo, which is 1500 to buy. So obviously it looks like an open patch of land, but obviously put your chaff over there, drop a blanket on top, and away you go with turning your chaff into silage. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Garden Shed Pack. This is by Flosty94, 3.72 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find these in the construction menu and under containers, was it? Yeah, there we are. So we've got the small shed there, 850 to buy. Then got the medium shed, which is 1500 to buy. And then the large shed, which is 2,500 to buy. So the small shed, that's going to hold 1500 litres. Medium shed's going to hold 3000 litres and a large shed's going to hold 5000 litres. So these are going to be for storing stuff. So if you come up to the spanner at the front, click on that, refill silo, this is going to hold your seeds for you. So obviously you're going to have to buy them in the increments that we're used to on certain things here, but obviously buy them in. You don't have to go and get it from the shop, just fill them up, then obviously bring your trailer or your seeder, plant, or whatever you want to call it, over to that icon there and fill it up for you, ready to go. So you don't have to go to the shop and get your pallets of seeds all the time. That's excellent. Right, next up we got Bale Fork. This is by Keller Modding, 1.68 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under front loader tools. So it's going to cost you 1200 to buy. The option you got there is to change the colour, so we'll go with Challenger Yellow. Changes the forks on the front. Obviously, you got some bales on the go. Whack this on the front of your tractor and away you go. Very nice. Right, next up is the Auto Pallets Manager. This is by Vanquish081 and 1.95 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu. So we'll go in there. And then under silos. There we are. So we've got a few options with these. So we'll go back to the first one. So we've got the Auto Pallets Manager V1. So depending on what you want to store in these, depends on which one you go for. So this one we've got is got butter, cake, cereal, oil, planks and bread. You then got the fabric, clothes, eggs, cheese and chocolate. You then got grapes, honey, furniture, flour and grape juice. Then you got lettuce, oil and raisins. Although that says tomatoes as well for some reason. But doesn't say tomatoes on the way out. Okay. Then you got sugar. What's that? Fertilizer. Strawberries, tomatoes, wool and oil again. And we've got strawberries, tomatoes, honey, egg, wool and lettuce. So obviously depending on what you got on a pallet depends on which one you go for. So I've got the first one, the V one, and that's going to have butter, which I've got here. So if we put that pallet in there like that, so drop it in the hatch marking area, and there it is, stacks a pallet neatly away for you. So we'll grab the second one in like that. Alright, where's that pallet gone? It's random. Lost a pallet. You come over there now. What's going on with that? Like lost a... Oh, hold on a minute. So that one pallet saying it's got 1,000 on. That pallet we just put in says it's only got... Oh, I see. Only spawns the pallet there once it's got 1,000 litres in. They're both 1,000 litres. That's random. Anyway. Right, if you come over to the spanner, that will take you into a production style menu. It says there the recipe for the one that I've got. You don't need to put all that in to get it all out. You just put one in. Just chuck the pallet over that hatch marking area and it just stacks it for you. Obviously, once it's in there, you can just come across and take it out straight away. That's not a problem. So a nice pallet stacking area for you. Oh, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is concrete fences. This is by Macca, 8.01 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu under decorations and fences. So we'll scroll all the way along to the end because that's where they are. There we are. Right, so we've got a few different options with these. You've got the fence there itself. So obviously you're going to click that down and drag it out. That's going to be 100 per panel. And then you've got the corresponding gate to go with it. So different variations. The gates are 200, the fence panels are 100. So different colours, you go for whichever one you fancy. So you come over to that, open that gate up. I've set it the right way round so I don't hit myself in the face. Excellent. Ah, very nice. Need some area to be gated off or fenced off. These do nicely. Right, next up is the Mi Familia restaurant. This is by Adams Kong, 1.16 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu under productions and sell points. So we'll scroll back to find it. There we are. 25 grand to put down, and you can sell here potato, corn, flour, sunflower oil, canola oil, olive oil, butter, cheese, eggs, sugar, cake, honey, tomatoes, lettuce, strawberry, grapes, and grape juice. Wow, that's a list. Very nice. So, done in the style of a Mexican restaurant. So, maybe you get your tacos here. So, you just come down the side. There's your loading out point, your unload, your sell point, whatever you want to call it. Ah, very nice. Obviously, it adds a different flavour to the sell point. I like that. Get some tacos on the go. Right, next up is Horse Pasture. This is by Atzi VR, 3.01 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, it's in the construction menu and under animals and horses. So, where are we? There we are, 25 grand to buy. It's going to hold 7 horses. Obviously, place it down to put your horses in. So, you've got your animal dialogue box there. 7 horses. Water in there because it is a pasture. And then your food in there. Obviously, it is rather large, so you need some top quality landscaping like I've done there. Excellent. Right, next up is Biogas Plant 150 kilowatt. This is by Vertex Design, 35.33 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find this in the construction menu onto productions and factories. So we'll scroll along to find it. Is that it there? Yeah, there it is. 365 grand to buy. Obviously place it down and do your usual shenanigans. Although this does add a couple of different things in as well. This has got the potatoes, the hay and the straw as well, which is excellent. I like to see them biogas plants having a couple of extra things in. That's very nice. So you've got your production chain menu there. So obviously go into that and you can access all your different recipes. You then got your loading in point for your slurry there. You then got your loading in point for your solid stuff there. And we'll come all the way around this side. And there's your taking out point for your digestate. Obviously that is a fairly small footprint for a BGA, so that's very nice. I mean, added in the fact that you've got those extra inputs you can have. Oh, I like that. Right, next up is the animated shed pack. This is by Alien Jim, 15.28 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in a few categories. So you've got buildings, you've got containers. Scroll back along, there we are. So we've got seed hut, and then we've got fertilizer hut. So two options. So you've got a wood, and then you've got a red wood on both of those. We then come out of that, silos. Scroll along again, so we've got the farm silo there, again wood and redwood. Then come out of that and we'll go into sheds. So we've got a couple of sheds here. So we've got vehicle shed, wood and redwood. We've also got a vehicle shelter, wood and redwood, and then we've also got a vehicle drive-through shelter, again wood and redwood. And then if we go into tools, go the other way, we've got two options here. So we've got a workshop shed, wood and redwood, and then wash station, wood and redwood as well. Now they don't look much at the moment, and there's a reason for that. So obviously the shed, the feed shed and the fertilizer shed, you pull over your vehicle and then load up whatever you want to do. If you come over to these here, you come to the cog, there you are, and click B to build. Alright, why is it not building? That's random. Oh, I've seen my mistake. I've clicked on the wrong cog. So I clicked on that one and that's now built. Dear oh dear. Right, so the cog for this one here. So we'll do that, build that. There we are. It's shocking. So that goes through its whole animation of being built up. Very nice. And we'll come over to this one because I clicked on this one as well. Dear oh dear. Click on that. Animation goes through, all builds up very nicely. Now if they built things that quickly in real life, we'd get things done loads quicker. And then we'll come down to these two down here. Click the cog. And then we'll click the cog on this one. There we are, pretty much built a farm in about 30 seconds. Brilliant. Right, so this is your drive-through shed. Obviously it's a shed that you can drive through, very nice. And you got this one here. I believe this is the wash station. So collect that. There we are. Come and wash your vehicle. Put that back. And next to that, this is your workshop trigger one. So obviously pull your vehicle in the hatch marking area. Hit the spanner icon by the workshop bench. These doors open? Yes, they do. Bit of storage there. The lights come on. There's a light in the middle, but no option for a light. Is there a switch anywhere? No. Right, we'll move on. We'll move on. Come over here. This is another shed for you. So you park your stuff under. Again, another shed over here. One area there. Oh, the light switch on the outside. There we are. That's better. Open those doors. Open those doors. Light switches on the outside. There we go. Then over to this one. Open those doors. Here's your silo. So load in and load out at that point. There's your light switch for there. And obviously in that part of the building is your actual silo part. Door doesn't open though. Okay. Fair enough. Very nice that pack is. Once you get used to hitting the right cog, don't place them that close together, I'd say, is my only suggestion. But apart from that, oh, they're very nice. Like that. Alien Jim, you've done a good one again. Right, next up is the Animals Placeables pack. This is by Puma 145, 23.72 megabyte on the download. You're going to find all these in the construction menu and under animals for various animals, obviously. Now, these are the buildings, pasture, whatever you want to call them, from FS19. So if you ever played that, you'll be familiar with them. So we've got under cows, we've got the small and the large, 100 and 300 grand respectively. We then got under horses, we've got the 50 for the small and then the 95 for the large. That's the large one over there. And under pigs, we've got the small, well, the pig enclosure and then the large pig enclosure again. So 90 for the small, 250 for the large. Oh, 300 pigs. That's excellent. And then we've got under sheep. Again, we've got the sheep pasture, small, and then the large sheep pasture. Oh, I've come out of it. We'll go back in. We'll go animals and then chickens. Then we've got the chicken coop. Got the small one for 20 grand and then the large one for 40 grand. So obviously if you've played FS19 before, you're probably all familiar with these types of buildings. Excellent. Bringing a bit of nostalgia back. Is it really nostalgia? I mean, it's only been a few months since we've come on to FS22, but we'll carry on anyway. Yeah, if you like those buildings in FS19, you can now have them in 22. Excellent. Next up, we got the Conqueror Tarot 107. This is by No Name, 4.12 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under trailers. So it's going to cost you 6.5 grand, 8,000 litre capacity. You then got the option to change that to 10,000, 14,000, then back to 8,000. Wheel brands and tyres, usual shenanigans on the go there. And change the main colour to any one of those. Then the rim colour to any one of those. So, small little trailer for you. I mean, 14 grand, that's only 9,200. That's all right for small capacity, but then very small price tag. Very nice. Right, next up is the new Holland Discotter F320P. This is by No Name again, 6.71 megabyte on the download. And you're going to find it under mowers. So this is going to require 82 horsepower from your engine, 3.2 meter working width, and it's going to cost you 17 grand. Now obviously 3.2 is rather small, but this is going to go on the front of your tractor. So you're going to have the butterfly bit on the back, and that's what makes up the decent size of it. So the options you got there are without lights or with lights. Very nice. If you're keeping your new Holland tractor farm shenanigans all the same, this will fit in nicely. Alright, next up is the Beatloader for wheel loaders. This is by EY Modding, 0.82 megabyte on the download, and obviously you're going to find it under wheel loader tools. So this is going to do your beets and your potatoes, nothing else. So this has got 4,000 litre capacity, going to cost you 3 grand, and the only option you got is to change the main colour. So you get to match whatever wheel loader you've got. Now you've got some beets or potatoes on the ground, shovel them up with this. Right, next up we've got the Lizard Bale fork. This is by Keller Modding, 2.22 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under front loader tools. So this is going to cost you 1,600 to buy. The option there is to change the main colour, so we'll go with a voucher green. Changes the main frame. Obviously 4 spikes on the front for you to do your baling. So you've got a load of bales on the go. Whack this on the front of your tractor and away you go. Right, next up is Trailer with Beet Cutter. This is by Dogface, 4.37 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under trailers. So this is actually called, on the menu section, the Lizard Beet Ninja. So the mod is called Trailer with Beet Cutter. The actual thing is Beet Ninja. Beet Ninja. What an ace name that is. Brilliant. So it's got a 29,500 litre capacity, and it's going to run at 9 mile an hour working speed, which is a trailer. So why has it got 9 mile an hour working speed? Random. 51,000 to buy. Obviously it's got the sugar beet cutter built in. So the options you got there, usual brands and tyres, and usual shenanigans on the go. Now according to the website, obviously this holds pretty much everything. See the icons along the bottom. It holds everything. But what it says on the website is you can dump the beets out without cutting, or dump cut beets through the cutter. So that bit on the back is going to chop them all up, the sugar beets. So you can either unload as whole or unload as the chopped ones, which I think is excellent. That's got to be one of the easiest ways to get cut sugar beet, isn't it? Ah, that's excellent. I like that. Very nice. Right, next up is the Lizard Idea Liner Pack. This is by No Name, 17.34 megabyte on the download. You're going to find both of these under trailers. So we've got the 106 and the 133. The 106 has got 63,000 litre capacity and pretty much take everything in the game. All bar... Well, what's those random things there? Some random icons at the back. Interesting. And then the 133 has got a 79,000 litre capacity and does exactly the same. What are those new icons? I've never seen them icons before. That's... Alright, maybe that's something else that's going to be coming out, or a new crop to some sort of map, but... Yeah, look at them. Okay, right, we'll carry on. The options are the same on both of them. So obviously the 106 is 72.5 grand and the 133 is 85 grand. You're going to need to hook this up to a truck or a dolly. So you've got the usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you've got the option without spare wheel or with spare wheel. So that puts it onto there. Then you've got the without reflectors, no reflectors in the decal, no reflectors decal 2, with reflectors and decal, with reflectors and decal 2, and then without reflectors again. Main colour, we'll go with a Shootin orange, excellent. And then design colour, we'll change that to a blue, changes the roof. And then the rim colour obviously does the rims. So you go for whichever colour you want. Obviously it does say on the website that when unloading, this has a realistic to life unloading pattern. So max height while tipping is 9.6 meters or 7.1 meters tall when you're doing the unload via the grain door. So if you've got low buildings, you're going to want to be careful of that. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself all caught up. But that being said, I like that. Very nice. Right, next up is the Lizard GASPC RC EHD 10020. What's going on with that name? Dear oh dear. This is by SR Vertex Antique Modding, 8.37 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under plows. So this is going to require 450 horsepower from your tractor, 5.7 meter working width, and an 8 mile an hour working speed. So 450 horsepower for 5.7. That's quite a high horsepower for that size of plow. Okay, 28 grand to buy. The usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you've got wheel setup, standard, just standard usual things on the go there. You've got decals, you've got design 1, design 2, and back to design 1. Rear decals, so we'll spin it round. No, yes, and no. Main colour, we'll change to a green, like so. Colour of the bearings, we'll go with a white. That's ace, changes the bearings in between the discs. I like that. Disc edge colour, we'll change that to a black. And then rim colour, obviously changes the rims of the wheels. So, you want to do a bit of ploughing on the go, which could be alright. Although 450, you're going to need a fairly tasty tractor for that. Right, next up is the Converland Tarup 12040D. This is by STV Modding, 8.08 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under trailers. Now, this is one of those forage style trailers. It's going to do your grass, your sugarcane, wood chip, straw, silage, hay, and your chaff. So it's not going to be used for anything else. It's got a 38,900 litre capacity. It costs you 52 grand as standard. So you've got your usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. You then got design, extension, white, colour, and then extension, then design again. You've got standard, fender 1, fender 2, then back to standard. Change the main colour, we'll go with a grey, change the side bits, then the rim colour, obviously. Oh, what's special? I like that, very nice. So if you've got some forage style stuff you need to be trailing around, This could be alright. Right, next up we got the Conqueror Radium 55. This is also by STV Modding, 9.26 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in trailers again. And this is also one of those forage style trailers, so you're going to do usual straw and silage and things that you put in one of those. So 47,000 litre capacity, 72.5 grand to buy. The options you got there, usual wheel brands and tyre shenanigans. Then change the main colour, we'll go with that green. And change the rim colour to any one of those. So again, another forage style trailer. Right, next up is the Lizard 6000. This is by AW Modding ABP team, 2.14 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under Slurry Tankers. So it's got a 6,000 litre capacity. It's going to require 50 horsepower from your tractor, 6 metre working width, and an 8 mile an hour working speed, all for 8 grand. The only option you got there are no hoses or right hoses. So we'll spin that around. Left hoses, spin that around again. Both hoses, and then no hoses again. Although that's just for decoration, it doesn't change anything. You are still going to only have a 6 metre working width. But obviously, 6,000 litre capacity, that is rather small. So you're going to use this mainly on smaller fields. That being said, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Transport Platform 4000H. This is by AW Modding ABP team and Feet BSM. 0.58 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under low loaders. This is going to cost you 9 grand. The options you got there are design, flatbed, extension, then back to flatbed. Change the main colour to any one of those. Now obviously you're going to need a hook lift to put this onto first. Obviously you can't just use it on its own. You're going to need an attachment for it. But that being said, you can cart around some different vehicles, different parts of the map. So that's excellent. Obviously with that extension as well, you can get the wider stuff on. Brilliant. Right, next up is the Homemade Weight 800 kilo. This is by Keller Modding, 0.80 megabyte on the download. And as you can imagine, you're going to find it under weights. So 800 kilo. It's going to cost you 2.5 grand to buy it standard, and it's giving us a £100 paint job for some reason, which is very random. So they all cost more money. So it's not 2.5 grand to buy. Oh, it's 2,600. Dear oh dear. You need a weight for your tractor anyway. We'll carry on. This could be very nice indeed. Right, next up is the Flegel Timber Runner Z Crane Pack. This is by HR Forst und Bale, 7.84 megabyte on the download. You're going to find both of these under forestry equipment. So they're 28 grand each. So we go into this one, the Z Crane seat. So the usual options, wheel bands and the tyres on the go there. Longwood support, no or yes. Doesn't really seem to change much there, does it? It's a different little frame there on the side. Okay. Stanchion colour, we'll change that to pink. Crane colour, we'll change that to white. Then we've got the seat cover, changes the colour of the seat. Claw colour obviously changes the colour of the claw. And then rim colour changes the colour of the rims. So if we come out of that and go into the Z Crane one, wheel brands and the tyres usual on the go. You've got the Longwood support again, no or yes, and then all the different colour options. So if you're doing a bit of logging and you've got some long ones on the go, obviously hook this up to a truck and away you go. Next up is the Amazon Senius 8003-2 TX Super. This is by RC3D and Chris, 10.71 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under Cedars. So it's going to require 350 horsepower from your tractor. Got 8 metre working width, 9 mile an hour working speed. It's going to cost you 68 grand. Usual shenanigans on the wheel brands and the tyres. So if you've got some seeding on the go, drop this on the back of your tractor and off you go. Right, next up is the Dalbo Supermax 300. This is by LSD Modding, 5.01 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under Subsoilers. This requires 250 horsepower from your tractor. Oh, 3 metre. I thought we was doing so well. We've had all these mods. There's always going to be a 3 metre chucked in there, isn't there? Right, it's a 3 metre working width. 7 mile an hour working speed, so it's 29 grand to start with. You then got the option of adding a drill 500, which then give you 500 litre capacity on there. But if you come back out of that, only does grass, oilseed radish and canola. So this is going to be one of those grassland care seeders, really, not the usual normal ones that you plant crops with. Still small though, very small. We'll carry on. Right, next up is the Stroutman VS 2004. This is by STV Modding, 2.44 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under manure spreaders. So this has got a 20,000 litre capacity, 150 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 12 metre working width, 8 mile an hour working speed, 95,600 to buy. You then got under configurations, you got standard, extensions, that puts it up to 26,000 litre capacity. Then back to standard, usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Main colour, either green or grey. That's more black to be fair. And then rim colour, either one of those 4. That looks quite nice actually. The black and the red. Yeah. Right, so you got some manure on the go. This could be very nice indeed. Right, next up is the Wheel Loader Long Forks Pack. This is by JG Farms Modding, 1.05 megabyte on the download. You can find both of these under Wheel Loader Tools. So you've got long bale fork and then long pallet fork. So if we go into that one, wow, they are long. You might even get 3 pallets, 3 bales on this one and then 3 pallets on the other one. Very nice. 1,450 to buy. So standard design there. Then you've got extension. Then back to standard, so main colour, we'll go with JCB, then design colour, we'll go with a red so you can actually see it stand out. Which doesn't seem to have done anything, although if we go back up there, there we are, it's the extension that changes on the design colour. Then we'll go into the palette one, again we'll put the extension on, main colour, and then design colour obviously does the extension. I think you might get 3 pallets on that. Very nice. Next up is the skid steer trailer mover. This is by JG Farms Modding, 0.98 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under skid steer loader tools. So you're going to put this on the front of your skid steer and you can move trailers around. Excellent. 870 to buy. The option there to change the main colour to any one of those. Very nice. Move some stuff around the yard with your skid steer loader. Right, next up is the KROZ1. This is by Arak, 1.4 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under mulchers. Now, this isn't on the website. It's not on Farming Simulator website. This just came up on the mod hub when I loaded the game, so I got a feeling this is a console only mod. Could we have the first console only mod? That's excellent, especially for us console players. Right, so this is going to require 60 horsepower from your tractor. Oh, 1.8 metre. So we get the first console only mod and it's only a 1.8 metre. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, it's going to run at 7 mile an hour. Going to cost you 2 grand. The options you got there are machine versions. You got old, new, changes to the labels on the side. First only console mod and is tiny. Dear oh dear. Alright, from the excitement of the first only console mod, we'll carry on. Right, next up we got the John Deere 9020 and 9030 series. This is by Sid Modding, 41.33 megabyte on the download. You're going to find both of these under large tractors. So you've got the 9020 there and obviously the 9030, 110 more or less grand there, then 160 grand for the 9030. So if we go into there, the options on the 9020, we've got rock box, no or yes on the front. Got design, silver pipe, standard black tip 2, then back to silver pipe 2, then back to silver pipe. Vintage configurations 2001 to 2005 or 2006 to 2007. Attaches, you've got standard, PTO, 3-point, then back to standard. Then you've got Green Star 3000, no or old or new or no, so that doesn't really mean much to us on console because we have got GPS. Engine setup, so it starts off at 280 horsepower, 325, 375, 425, 450, 500, then back to 280, all with a 24 mile an hour top speed. Got beacons, no, 1, 2, and then no. Versions, you got standard, US version, standard Aussie version, Aussie extended version, EU version, then back to standard. Wheel setup, you got the usual shenanigans on the go over there. Just have a flick through to see what you like. Then we've got pretty much the same options on the 9030. So if we go down to the engine setup, so 325 is standard, 375, 425, 475, 530, and back to 325. So slightly higher horsepower on the engine side, but pretty much all the other stuff is the same on the options. So if we come out of that, we'll start it up. The only thing that you got to do there, if you have the Aussie version, is you got LB and A on-fold tractor, puts the indicator stalks out. Right, next up is the MAN TGS milk truck. This is by DS Agro Service, Castor Fluey, Stephen aka W7K. 10.76 megawatt on the download. You're going to find this under animal vehicles. This has got a 500 horsepower engine, 56 mile an hour top speed, 13,500 litre capacity for 142 grand. So you got the options on the side there. You got wheel brands and tyres, usual things on the go. Got decals, German, English, French, then none. Low capacity small, so that's 13,500. Got middles 18,500, and then big, which is 25,000. The engine setups are 500, 550, 600, 640, and then 500. So I'd imagine if you go for the 640 with the larger capacity. Then we've got colour of driver's cabin, so we'll go with pink metallic. Why not? Then tank body colour, oh, gold. Yes. And then rim colour obviously does the rims. Look at the state of that. Dear oh dear. Okay, we'll come out of that. We'll start up. You got the options there of open cover, LB and left on the D-pad. Flips them up. So if you want to simulate putting it in, there you go. Next up, we've got the JCB Fast Track Pack. This is by Bandit 36FR. 22.23 megawatt on the download. You're going to find it under large tractors. So it's got a 340 horsepower engine, 43 mile an hour top speed, 289 grand to buy as standard. So usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Tinted windows, no. 15%, 45%, 80%, and then back to no. Grid and warning signs, no. 1, 2, 3, and then back to no. Rear fenders, no or yes. That's puts the extension on the back. Beacons, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to no. Lighting ramp, yes or no. Obviously you have the LED lighting on the front. Flash LEDs, no or yes. That puts them on the front grille. Covering, no. Hood, roof, hood and roof, no. I like that. I like that a lot. Then change the main body colour. Go with black. Full black. Oh, it's left a yellow nose. Oh, there we are. Change that. Does that. Oh, that looks very nice. Obviously, we change the hood colour if you want to a red. Change the roof colour if you want to as well, individually. And obviously change the rim colours. Very nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Right, and our last mod for the day. This is the John Deere 6R series by Blower, 46.99 megawatt on the download. You're going to find these three on the medium tractors. So we've got these three here. So we've got the small, the medium, and then the large. So the small is 102,500 to buy, medium 131,500, and then the large 174,500 to buy. Now the options, we go into this one. We've got configuration, standard, 3-point, or standard, usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you've got front weight, standard, 360, 560, 760, 1010, and then back to standard. Roof, got standard or panoramic, adds a little window for you. Front loader attacher, no. John Deere, and then back to no. And the engine setup, so it starts off with 130 horsepower, then do 140, 150, then back to 130, so all with a 31 mile an hour top speed. Change the main colour to any one of those. Change the rim colour to any one of those. Now if we come out of that and we go into the medium one, all the options are the same apart from the engine. So this starts off 165, then we've got 185, 195, then back to 165. And then if we go into the larger version, again, all the options are the same, but with different horsepower. So 223 to start with, 243, 259, and then back to 223. So if we come out of that, we'll start this one up. This is a large one. If we do LB and RB together and left stick left and right, opens the door. LB and RB together and right stick up and down, it does the back window. Now, if you look around the side here, obviously we've got these small, medium and large. So obviously the small is shorter, medium in the middle, and the large is the taller. So as well as the horsepower difference, there is a height difference as well. Obviously you decide which one you want to go for. That's the last mod for the day, so that's it, done and dusted. Drop it in the comments below which one's your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.